Hey everyone, Nishi from MST.TV here, doing our next Market Watch episode. So we're kind of at a crossroads here, with Cross Souls just being released, but not really having any events to base the performance of the cards off of. At the same time, World Superstars has been out for a couple weeks, but nothing really notable has been released from that set, aside from the Star Seraphs. So until we see the results from YCS's, Regionals, and ARGs within the next couple of weeks, it's going to be a little bit difficult to tell where the prices of cards are going to go. However, we've still seen somewhat of a trend, and of course, a lot of the card prices are down quite a bit after Sneak Peek. So in our previous video, we identified 4 cards as being the money cards of Cross Souls: Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, Galaxy Cyclone, Jar of Avarice, and Lose a Turn. So naturally, all 4 of these cards have actually dropped quite a bit since Sneak Peek. So at Sneak, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit was running for anywhere from $50 to $60. At the moment on eBay and Troll and Toad, it's around $45 to $50. Personally, I don't think that the card is really good. I think it's still a good card, but I think it's somewhat overrated, and I don't think it's going to see very much play in the top tier decks over the next couple of weeks. Personally, I think the card's going to settle at around $30, maybe $40 if it really sees a lot of play. So if you have a copy of this card and you want to play it, go ahead and keep it. If you want to sell it for the $45 or $50 that you can now, I'd definitely get rid of it while you can. The next card I want to talk about is Jar of Avarice. At Sneak, Jar of Avarice was anywhere from $40 to $50, but because it's a card that you really only play one of and is somewhat limited in its application, the only deck that I really see playing it is Shaddoll. Right now on Troll and Toad, it's only a $23 card. Realistically, I think it's going to keep dropping to about $15 or $20. The next card I'm going to talk about is Galaxy Cyclone. So everyone was really hyped up about Galaxy Cyclone, saying that it's the next MST, but the fact that it's only a normal spell card and not a quick play, at least when you activate it from your hand, really hurts the playability of it. And even when you banish it from your graveyard, you can only hit a face-up spell or trap card. So at Sneak, this card was anywhere from $40 to $45. At the moment, it's between $25 and $30, but to be honest, I think that this is a pretty fair price for the card. I'd only pay it around $25, so if you're looking to pick it up, I'd pick it up for around there. Finally, the only ultra rare from the set that's really been hyped is Lose a Turn. And at first, Lose a Turn was about $30 at Sneak, and so far it's dropped to anywhere between $22 and $25. Realistically, I think that $15 to $20 is a good price for the card, just because in the decks that do play it, so Yosenju and Cliport, they're going to want to play 2 to 3 copies. Obviously, decks like Shaddoll's or Necroz won't be playing it, and it's only an ultra rare. If you need to play the deck, I'd say pick up the set for around $45 or $15 each. So there were a couple of other cards at Sneak Peek that caught people's attention, but their prices have dropped quite a bit. So the first one is Dante, Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss. It's a secret rare, the new TCG exclusive. At Sneak Peek, maybe not what people were actually buying it for, but on Troll and Toad definitely, it was $54. At Sneak Peek, people were buying it for around $30. At the moment, it's a $20 card, but really the deck doesn't play any copies of this card. I see it dropping to as low as between $5 to $10. I think that it's a card that people who like the archetype will want to collect, so if you have it, you can get rid of it to them, but it's definitely not something that's playable, so not a lot of players are going to be after it. If you have it, I definitely think you should sell it now for whatever you can get for it. If you can get $15 or $20 for it, that'd be great. If not, you're going to be selling it for $5 to $10 in the future. And the last card from Cross Souls that I want to talk about is El Shaddoll Anoyatillith, the new Water Shaddoll fusion monster. At Sneak Peek, it was about $20 to $25, and surprisingly, on Troll and Toad and eBay and different sites, it's actually maintained that price. If you want to play Shaddolls, I think it's a really great card to pick up, just because if you make it, it's really like an auto win in the Necroz matchup. So if you want, maybe pick it up for $20. And this card's price is gonna fluctuate depending on how well Shaddolls do on the competitive scene. So if we see a lot of Shaddolls topping within the next couple weeks, I can see it maintaining a $30 to $35 price range, just because you only really need one Shaddoll Anoyatelith. You shouldn't really need to make two. However, if the deck kind of tanks and doesn't do very well, I could see it easily dropping to about a $7 to $10 card. So now that we've talked about El Shaddoll Anoyatelith, another card I want to bring to people's attention is Shock Troops of the Ice Barrier. This is a super rare from Hidden Arsenal 3, so a lot of older players might have it just lying around in their boxes somewhere, and it's a card that when you summon it, you contribute it to pop a water monster on your opponent's side of the field, and then search your deck for an Ice Barrier monster and add it to your hand. So the idea with this card is you summon it, you tribute it off, pop their Classalis or whatever monster, banish Jin for the ritual summon, so you get rid of the Jin lock, and you replace itself, and then you fusion away with the second copy to make a Anoyatelith, and it kind of locks the Necroz player out of the game. So really, this card was terrible before. It never saw any play whatsoever, and it was like a 25-cent card. Now it's really caught people's attention, and it's anywhere from $3 to $4. Personally, I think this is a great card. Not inherently, but just because of the role it serves in the Necroz matchup. So if you guys can grab it, I definitely think you guys should pick up a playset if you're looking to play Shaddolls in the future. However, if you have the card just lying around in a shoebox somewhere at home, maybe try to dig it up and make a couple bucks off of it. We've hit reprint season, and Konami just recently announced that the Megatins are going to be released in either August or September. So two of the different promo cards that are coming out are Majesty's Fiend and Castel the Skyblaster Musketeer. So Majesty's Fiend came out in Primal Origin, and it's peaked at around $40. However, it was around $30 just before the reprint was announced, and after that it's kind of tanked since then. It hasn't really seen as much play, and at the moment it's floating around anywhere from $18 to $20. So you know that when the Megatins are released, everyone's going to have access to copies of this card, and a lot of people are going to be content just playing the supers. Personally, I'm kind of a rarity whore, so I definitely want the secret rares, but if you don't really care about the rarity at all, I'd just get rid of them for the $15 or $17 that you can get for them now. However, if you want to play the card in between now and then, I'd say go ahead and pick it up. $15 really isn't that much of an investment. However, I think that once the card is released, the super rare copies, the reprints, are going to go for around $2 to $3 at first, and then maybe settle at $5. And I think that the secret rares are actually going to retain some value at maybe $10 to $12, just because the secret rare looks so much nicer than the super. So then the other card was Castel the Skyblaster Musketeer. This is a super rare from Duelist Advent, and it's floated around during its time anywhere from $15 or $12 or $10 to around $20. At the moment, I don't know why, but this card's still at $15 just online. We haven't seen too much of a price change recently, even with the reprint announced. When the Megatins come out, same thing with as Majesty's Fiend. I think the reprint is going to be anywhere from $2 to $4, and I think it's going to stay around there. And I'm expecting the original first ed print to drop a lot, just because both rarities are super rare, and you won't be able to tell much of a difference just by looking at the card. So I'd expect the originals to go for anywhere from $5 to $7. So if you have it, definitely get rid of it. Personally, I'm only keeping one just because I need to use it in between now and then, but for most players, I'd say it's a pretty safe card to get rid of. So the last card that's being released in the new Megatins is Elder God Nodin, and this is a really powerful card that was originally an OCG exclusive in Korea. And as soon as this card was announced, a lot of people thought that it was going to be released in World Superstars, so we haven't noticed much of a recent price change, but now that it's confirmed, everyone's buying into it, and they're accumulating the card Instant Fusion. The ultra rares from Raw Yellow Mega Pack and Legendary Collection Generation X are going for anywhere from $10 to $12. Honestly, I think that because of how hyped this card is, I think that it's gonna see a steady price increase as the release date of Nodin comes closer and closer, and I think that it's actually gonna hit around $15 to $20. The commons, they're only a couple dollars now. I can see them hitting around maybe $5. If you have any copies of this card lying around at home, I think that you should get rid of them when the instant fusion commons are around 5 and the ultras are around 15, just because I think that's a very good price for them. And I honestly think that either instant fusion or Nodin are going to get hit in the upcoming ban list just because they're such powerful cards. So the last thing I want to say about the Megatins is you guys should be really careful about what cards you guys are holding onto over the next couple of months. So there are a lot of players who really like holding on to the original cards as they were printed. And if you want to do that, that's fine. But if you're someone who doesn't really care about rarities, there are a lot of cards that I think are going to be reprinted in the Megatins that is naturally going to kind of drag down the value. So among these sets, I think that Primal Origin cards are going to get reprinted. So all of the artifacts like Artifact Sanctum, Artifact Ignition, and Moral Talk, along with obviously Majesty's Fiend and Madolche Angeli. In addition, I think Duelist Advent is definitely going to get reprinted. So if you guys are holding on to Dantes for no reason, I think it's definitely a time to get rid of them. As well as the Shaddoll cards, Shaddoll Fusion, Construct, and Winda. And the Satellar Knights in Deneb and Stellar Nova Alpha. I think these are all prime candidates to get reprinted in the upcoming Megatins. And if you guys are holding on to them and not really doing anything with them, I think you guys should get rid of them. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you guys liked my episode of Market Watch. If you guys liked it, make sure that you guys give it a thumbs up. And if you guys want to see more content, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. And if you guys think that I missed anything in my analysis, make sure that you guys leave a comment down in the comment section below. Until next time, make sure you guys hold on to your MST.TV.